What if you were 12 years old and you walked up to the god of death himself and demanded an answer? Not running, not praying, not begging, demanding. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding this question. One boy in ancient India made it the only question that mattered. And what death told him changed the course of human philosophy forever. This is the story of Nachiketa. Thousands of years ago, a wealthy man named Vajrashrivasa decided to perform a great sacrifice, a yagna. In those times, this was no small thing. A yagna meant giving away your most prized possessions to please the gods and earn divine merit. But here is where it gets interesting. Vajrashrivasa was giving away his cows. Lots of them. It looked generous. It looked noble. His young son Nachiketa watched quietly from the side, and he noticed something. The cows being given away were old, weak. They had already given their last drop of milk. They could barely walk. Nachiketa thought if his father was giving away things that were useless to him. Was this truly a sacrifice? Or was it just performance? A question stirred inside the boy, and once a question stirs inside Nachiketa, it does not rest. He walked up to his father and asked simply, "Father, to whom will you give me?" It was a child's question, but it carried a philosopher's weight. Vajrashrivasa ignored him. Nachiketa asked again, and again, until finally, irritated, embarrassed in front of the priests, his father snapped, "I give you to Yama. I give you to death." The crowd went still. But Nachiketa, he simply nodded, and he walked toward the realm of the dead. Yama, the god of death, was not home. So Nachiketa waited. One day. No food. No water. 2 days. 3 days. When Yama finally returned, he found a young Brahmin boy sitting outside his palace, calm, patient, eyes steady as stone. Even the god of death was impressed. "You have waited 3 days at my door without food," Yama said. "That is not something most mortals or gods would do." He offered Nachiketa 3 boons. 3 wishes, anything he desired. For his first boon, Nachiketa asked for peace with his father. Simple, done. For his second boon, he asked to learn the sacred fire ritual that leads to heaven. Yama taught him gladly. Even named the fire Nachiketa's fire in his honor. But the third boon, this is where everything changed. Nachiketa looked death in the eyes and asked, "When a person dies, what happens?" Some say the self continues. Some say it does not. I want to know the truth. That is my third wish. Yama leaned forward. "Choose anything else," he said. "Elephants, gold, kingdoms, beautiful things, long life, I will give you all of it, but not this question." Death was testing him now. He offered horses, chariots, power over entire lands. All the pleasures that a young man could dream of. "These things fade tomorrow," Yama whispered. "But I will give them to you today." Nachiketa didn't blink. "All of these," he said quietly, "belong to death eventually, don't they? They are yours, not mine. Keep them. I want only what cannot be taken. I want to know what is real. What survives? What is the self beyond the body?" Yama smiled. For the first time in the entire story, death smiled. "You have passed," he said. "You did not choose comfort over truth. Sit down, Nachiketa, let me teach you." And what followed was one of the most profound teachings in all of human history. Yama told Nachiketa about the Atman, the eternal self. He said, "The self is not born, it does not die, it was not brought into being, and it will not cease to be. Ancient, unborn, eternal. It is not killed when the body is killed. The body," he said, "is like a coat. You wear it for a lifetime. And when it wears out, you leave it behind. But you, the real you, that is never worn out. That has never died. That cannot die." Death had given Nachiketa the one thing death cannot take. The knowledge that there is something in us beyond death's reach. Nachiketa walked back to his father. Alive, changed, carrying an answer most people never seek. And here is the question the Katha Upanishad leaves with us. Most of us spend our lives collecting what Yama offered. Comfort, pleasure, distraction. But what if, like Nachiketa, we had the courage to ask the real question? Not how do I avoid deaths, but what in me cannot die. If this story moved something in you, stay with us. There are 107 more Upanishads, and every one of them holds a question this profound. Subscribe and we'll ask them together. Together.